Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Want to pop in and something I'm seeing. I want to address this and kind of help you understand something. This video more so geared to the women, and that is about why men are dating up. Now, I want you to pay attention and start noticing this. Start paying attention as you're looking around. Okay, start to look around, and what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of empowerment of black women. And even this video can be seen as empowerment of black women. A lot of my videos, a lot of my messages can be empowerment of black women or women in general of all races. And the reason for me personally is because of the pain and the damage that I did. Now, I can't speak for the empowerment coming from everywhere else, but when I look around, if I go on YouTube, and it's not even just black women, but when I go on YouTube, or not in YouTube, Instagram, I see so many conferences. Start paying attention to how many conferences you see for women only. It's like Women of Power, Women's Network, Millionaire Women, uh, Latina women, black women, white women, they would not be allowed to do an event just for white women just because of, in America, there'd be a lot of black backlash. But minority women, women of color who code, women of color in tech, women who in real estate, women in law. And it's just, you see women after women after women event, women event, women event. And it's women that's leading the events. And then when you look in the corporate space, when you look in the corporate space right now, you will see, I'm seeing major companies producing and sponsoring events for women, women only, and then for women of color, and then for minority women, just of all minorities. And you will start to see this over and over and over. And it makes me think like, wow, why is this? Why is this? What is going on here? Now, at the same time, when you read studies, women are graduating from college more than men. When I believe it was Forbes that said the leading entrepreneurial group of people is black women right now. Black women are leading the field as new entrepreneurs. I believe that was Forbes or one of the Inc. or one of the magazines like that made a post about it. Google it. And what's happening is there's this movement, and now maybe you can tell me, maybe you can share your objective opinion without being, negative and condescending, of why do you feel, and it could be for my very same reason. I said, Lord, listen, I played the game from the age of 15 to the age of 21. So it was only 6 years. It wasn't 20 years, 30 years. But in them 6 years, I did more than I was comfortable with. I was not raised to be the man that I became at that age, or to treat people or women in general, in specifically the way that I was behaving, and blaming it on what I saw around me, what other guys were doing, because I know God, and I knew God then, and I felt convicted, and I said, Lord, this is not what you called me to. So what I'm going to do, I'm about to get out of sin. I'm about to get married. Thank you for introducing me to my wife. And I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to give the game away. I'm going to level the playing field. So maybe, I don't know, maybe America is saying, hey, we have we didn't let women vote, we didn't give them rights, we didn't give them a voice. Now it's our time to right our wrongs, the same way they started to do for blacks who came out of slavery and in segregation, and then start to try to do things for black people, whether whether you see it as genuine or not, it was things put in place: affirmative action, Black History Month, integration, all of this stuff that started opening up doors and allowing people, black people, to start climbing the ranks, right? And then you have women who were still on the lowest end of things. And imagine, when you think in America specifically, if black people were slaves and men were seen as higher than women, that would make the black woman at the bottom of the totem pole. And so when you think about this reality, it's a painful reality, and it's sometimes things that we don't want to explore or think about. But when you actually start to think about it, it's kind of like, So now I recall in the Bible where it says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So it kind of says something to me when I see these women, this group of women who were just treated horrendous, now all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but now becoming the leaders in a certain industry as the largest group of new entrepreneurs are black women. And it's like, wow, you went from being overlooked, mistreated, talked about, dogged out by other women, by men, by every race, to now finding your strength and building yourself, going to college, getting degrees, getting what's the degrees that after bachelor's, what do they call, higher learning or professional degrees? What do y'all call those? Getting your master's, getting your doctorate, and climbing the ranks and just kind of upending the system. I see some. I was talking to one of my clients earlier today, and she's made, one of her companies has made over $3 million, in the last 3 years. And she's a single black woman raising 2 kids, pretty much a lot on her own, to my knowledge, on her own. And I know so many others single black women earning $250,000, $500,000 a year from whatever they do. And like Dr., I won't even say a whole name, but I have a client in Atlanta who is a doctor, single, no kids, and a doctor running her own practice or working at a place now. I'm not sure, but great income. Just took my life coaching certification to add that, so now wants to mentor and coach. And I'm meeting so many women who are doing things, making moves, making money, building. And what happens is, now this is something interesting that I see happen. A lot of women, and let's just be honest right here, okay? A lot of women are working extremely hard out of necessity. They're saying, listen, I'm single, in some cases a single mother, and I have to provide for myself. So what am I going to do? Sit on the couch and wait on welfare? No, I got to get up. I got to pursue my dreams, and I got to build. I got to live. But what I noticed is those same women would not be opposed to having an amazing husband who came and he foots the bill. Like, he is ambitious and he works hard and he takes care of the bills, and she can be 100% focused on the children if they have them, or on her passions, and working without the pressure of, I gotta earn so I can pay a bill. I gotta earn so I can pay a bill. Now, most women would not be opposed to that. Now, you're gonna have some women that say, no, I always want to be under pressure and having to work to pay a bill because that keeps me alive and that pushes me, and I don't ever want a dime from a man. I don't want a man to do anything from me. You're going to have some women that's like that. But one thing I see, and I've had women tell me, and I said this in the video before, some women said, Tony, listen, I work and I work hard, but I want some help. I want some help, and I want to be able to be 100% mom. I want to be able to do homework for 2-3 hours. I want to be able to do the school drop off and not have to be at work at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Be able to go in 10 a.m. Be able to work from home, be able to run my own business. But I need some help in a lot of these cases. And so what's happening is a lot of women, single women, are working hard out of necessity to feed themselves. Then some of those women having to take care of their mother who may be up in age or dealing with illness, or their father or their sister or brother. I know a lot of women who have special needs children who grow into adulthood but still have to stay with them to be taken care of. And so sometimes you have it's their children, sometimes it's their parents, sometimes it's a family member. So there's a lot of single women who are working, and building to a great income, above average income. Let's say if average income is $45K a year in your state, then it's a lot of women getting to 55, 65K. If 70K is average in your state, it's a lot of women getting to 90, 120. I've coached several women who earn $500,000 a year or more. And guess what? They're all single. And so what I'm seeing is this is causing, and with the women's empowerment movement, because when I started speaking, I started touring, like paying out of pocket to tour the world in 2012. Came about 2017, I had to sit down. Because I said, now it's the woman's turn. It's the woman's market. Like, women stepped in. Like, a lady just came to my certification, and she sent me some feedback. Tony, you ought to add this. You ought to add that. You ought to add that. You ought to add that. And I'm like, listen, that's not me. I'm not going to have all the bells and whistles. You come in and get the knowledge. Did you walk away with the knowledge? Did you learn how to be a life coach? I'm not going to have, the fanciest PowerPoint. I'm not going to have all of this. Now, my other coach who trains, she is a woman. So her brain thinks differently. That's what happened. So she's going to have some bells and whistles. And guess what? That's what happened in the event space. Men were touring and killing it. But a man's mind works a certain way. For the most part, you're going to be bare bones. It's not going to be too much. Women came in, started doing events. Now you got balloons. Now you got rosary on the stage. Now you got white leather seats. Now you got lighting. Now you got this long stage. You got a DJ. You got a swag bag with real gifts in it from real sponsors. I mean, women came and they put their event planning hat on and just took it to the next level. Now, in some of those events, it may not be much substance, but it looked nice. So if you put a cubic zirconia in a Tiffany's box, you gonna think it's a diamond. If you put a diamond in a brown bag, you gonna think it's cubic zirconia. So I'm the diamond in a brown bag. People ask Tony, why you always wear a black shirt? Why you always wear a black shirt? But then when you see a woman who does YouTube, she gonna have her hair laid, she got her makeup on, got her lipstick on, got her lashes on, because we made differently. So I'm not gonna be on here all laid to the nines, because I don't have to do all that. I wake up, bags under my eyes, was up late working last night at 1:30 in the morning, working, studying, growing, and that's when I get to work a lot of time, because that's when my whole household is quiet as a church mouse. During the day, I got to be coaching, and then I got to be at practice. Then I'm with my wife, and I'm tending to my family. So my alone time, just for me to grow, sometimes come at night. So I get up, come on here looking rough, looking a mess, like I'm looking today. Like the lady told me on the live the other day, Tony, look like I can read your eyes. You got some illnesses in you. I said, Satan, get thee behind me. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But what I'm saying is, women coming in right now, and y'all ladies dominate. You coming in, making noise, building, branding, and taking over. It's only a few men that's still touring, trying to keep up and trying to compete with the women. When the women started touring, I said, man, let me sit down, because at my events you're gonna have some chairs and you gonna have a microphone. So ain't nobody gonna be coming to my events when this person over here got acrobats swinging from the roof and all of that. So let me just get on YouTube. So now I give my energy to YouTube. I'm at home and I could teach an hour a day. I'm good with that. And YouTube will send you a blessed check every month if they put ads on some of your videos. A lot of mine don't get ads on the videos because of what I'm talking about. So I say that to say, and y'all know I'm always taking my time getting to the point. Still hearing from people, man, you need to hurry up. Nope, got to take my time. You're on the wrong channel if you want somebody to finish in 10 minutes. Look at it, I'm at 16 minutes. I thought I've been talking 5 minutes. But let me tell you what I'm about to say. This movement, now it's a couple angles to this, and this is what I want you to understand. It's a couple angles to this now. What I'm about to say is too real. It's too real. You got to ask yourself something now, okay? Let me ask you something now. When you think of big business, when you think of big corporations, when do you think they've ever had your best interests at heart? Is their goal to make you feel good, to buy their product? Or is their goal to enlighten you and strengthen you so that you can make a rational decision concerning their product? Which may mean that rational decision says, I don't need this product right now because I need to pay down debt, and I need to build my emergency savings, and I need to build my investment portfolio. So I don't need a new Ford Taurus right now. I don't need a new Nissan Rogue right now. I don't need a new Chevy Malibu right now. I need to continue being happy with what I have. I don't need a new Lexus or Mercedes Benz right now. Okay, think about big business now. When do you think they've ever had your interests at heart? But see, guess what? The most powerful dollar in the world is the woman's dollar. Because the woman is the head of the household. And when I say head of the household, I'm meaning head of the household in that department. Typically, the woman makes the grocery list. So she decides what gets bought. There's some men who do it. Any man can do it. But a lot of times a woman wants to be in control of that, because the woman may also be the one making the lunches. She may also, in majority of the households, you're going to have households that is flipped. And I'm not saying that the woman doing or the man doing is right or wrong, because I don't believe in gender roles in a healthy relationship. A man could cook, a man could change a diaper, a woman can pull out the trash if she want to, a woman can fix the sink if she want to. I don't believe in gender roles in a healthy relationship. It's you do what you got to do based on your strengths and your weaknesses. The woman could have been raised by a mechanic, and so she may be very comfortable changing the oil on the car. The man could have been raised by a single mother who was scared to break a nail, so he may know absolutely nothing about a car. You see what I'm saying? So it's to each their own, and you can't just stamp labels on every relationship and say this is the way it's supposed to be. Men take out the trash, women cook the food, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You can't do that. And so I say that to say, with these companies, what they understand though, in most households, the woman calls the shots on how money is spent. A lot of men want to try to believe that they in control and try to believe that they calling the shots, but you just echoing what she said is needed. You just okaying what she already telling you about to get done. Such and such going to this camp. Such and such doing this training. This what we need for grocery. These the bills that need to be paid. Point blank period, and that's what you're doing. So guess what? Pay attention now. Pay attention. Watch TV. Watch TV today. If you don't watch TV, don't watch it all the time, but watch TV today. Maybe even look at the ads on the channel. A lot of marketing is to women. 90% of marketing is to women, because it's directed toward women, because women are the ones who have the say so over the dollar. So now what's happening is, this is what's happening. The companies are now taking and saying, hey, okay, black women, y'all the number one entrepreneurs. Y'all getting to the bag. Y'all making this money. I want your money. So you know what I'm about to do for you? Black Women Expo. We finna have a Black Woman Expo sponsored by Forbes, by Chevy, by Nissan, by Ford, by this company, that company, this company. And we finna have a panel of all black women. And we finna put y'all up here. And now the men, we sitting over here like, okay, well, what a men's panel at? Okay, well, so what about the men's empowerment? Okay, what about the black men in tech? I'm a black man in tech, but I can't find an event for me sponsored by a major company, but I could go. So here I am. I'm getting ready to dress up like Madea so I could get into the Black Women in Tech event so I could learn some of these tips and tools. I'm like, well, I just launched my mentor.life. I can't find a support group for me. I can't find an event for me. But every time I look up, it's an event for the black women in tech. And I see this the thing now. This the thing. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not mad about it. I ain't mad about it. I'm glad it's happening. But this is the thing. What's the motive? See, the people getting checked to sit on the panel, they ain't questioning the motive because that check paying some bills. So, okay, you finna pay me $5,000. Okay, you finna pay me $10,000. Okay, I get to be at the Google headquarters. I get to be at the Facebook headquarters. I get to be at this headquarters. I get to take this picture for my Instagram. Hey, I don't care why you doing what you doing, but thank you. I'm in the building. So the people that's a part of it, they're not questioning the motives behind it. But this is what's happening. It's the downside of it on the flip side. The downside is that now companies, big business, are taking and putting their dollars into women and exclusively women. And it's saying, what they're saying is, look, what they're saying to the public is, it's always been a man's world. Now we need to elevate the woman. So it's a good message and it's a good thing. But what's happening is we don't know the underlying reasons. We don't know if they truly actually care, or if it's about the dollar, if it's about empowering these women so that these women want to spend their money with our company, so that these women want to support us and reciprocate. And then now we get the woman, and then we get her offspring, and then we get their offspring, just because we gave them a voice and we gave them a platform. So we don't know if the ulterior motive is for something in return, or if it's truly a genuine thing saying we want to see women empowered. Now, with the world that we live in, if you are wise, you've come to understand that it's not a whole lot done with genuine intentions. That you've come to understand that there's no free lunch. There's no free lunch. I was watching on Netflix last night. This man, a white gentleman, read a story about a black couple who sleeps outside out there. I think it was like Oakland. And it's on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix. No, that was on YouTube. And he decided to let them stay in his house. Nice house. This is $1 million house. This house, multi-million dollar, because this California now. So this house, probably 1.52 million, 3 million. They standing there, grand piano in there, glass, open, long, tall glass windows, and they stand in there. He keep telling them, when y'all getting a job, when y'all getting a job, when y'all getting a job. They say, well, the man said, if I go get a job, they're gonna cut my disability check. That's something that I have permanently. That's gonna be decreased, or it's gonna be cut. Whereas I can get on this job and then they let me go in 3 months, I done lost my check. So if they were saying, if we go get a job, we gonna lose our check. So we would rather sleep outside and keep our check than get a job and try to pay for our own rent, because what we can't be employed. And if we get employed, we not gonna make enough to afford anything worth living in anyways out here. And we will no longer be eligible for our check. So the gentleman, who he doesn't understand this, he never been on welfare and disability checks and all of that. He's like, wow, that's a tough situation to be in. So you're telling me you can't get a job because you don't want to hurt your permanent income that you know is for sure every month. And then the lady said, yeah, if we get a job, our check gonna be decreased by $75. But what she wasn't thinking is, well, ma'am, with that job, you're gonna be making more than the $75 that you just lost on that check. But you just got to go to work. But it's the mindset. See? So by them receiving that check, they've been tricked to be dependent on that check, to where they won't even go help themselves in the amount more than the $75 that they would be losing. But this is something that everybody can see a different way. So this is the thing. What's happening? My point is, in the big business, when you take and you find one group and you focus on this group and you sponsor conferences and panels specifically for this group, you alienate this group and you separate this group. And right now the focus is on black women or women of color. So it's black and Latino women typically. And it's a lot of companies that's focusing right there. But what you do with that group is now you separate them from the male counterpart. And now the male counterpart says, well, they getting all this special treatment. Why is it 10 events for them? And I come out of slavery too. Like, I was beat, I was whipped. Or the Hispanic or the Latino men may say, look, I come through hard times too. Like, I had to struggle too. Where's the support for me in the tech world, in this world, in that world, you know? And so what happens is, there's a certain group of women who say, look, okay, I appreciate your help and your support. It's not going to change me. I'm not going to look down on the men of my race or my culture or my city, my state. I'm not going to look down on them because the world is trying to make a concerted effort to level the playing field. That's what my message exists, to level the playing field. So if that's the guise of this, if that's what this is being done under, we're leveling the playing field between men and women, then okay, cool, thank you. But what's happening is there's a lot of men. See, it don't affect me because I'm married. I'm already married. But it's a lot of men who are single men, and they're feeling left out. They're feeling left out, and they're looking at it like, whoa, okay. So now what they start to see is dollar signs. So now the man starts to feel debased. Now the man starts to feel less than. Now the man starts to feel disadvantaged. And then the woman here is being promoted and praised and put on a pedestal and protected and sponsored. And, you know, even now a lot of funds that are, I was talking to a friend of mine, she has a fund, and it's for women of color in tech. Then I met another woman. She has a fund for minority women, meaning they're funding like startups. And I have not bumped into a fund that's for minority men. Now, I'm probably going to have to start it. Maybe I'm going to have to start it. But I don't believe in, that's why I don't get on the whole bandwagon of black this, black that, black this, black that. Because if we trying to be one people, and if we trying to love one another, and when we trying to create harmony, then create harmony. Stop separating. It's like if you're gonna separate, if you're gonna keep doing black this, black this, black this, black that, then you might as well go back to separate but equal in what they tried to do in the 60s. But if you're trying to create harmony, if you want your sons and daughters to look at other races and nationalities and see them as people and see them as equal and to build and collaborate and to network, then you can't be just saying, okay, here's just money for, black people. Here's just an event for black people. Here's just this for the black people. And it's like, yeah, some things gonna be directed to a certain race or demographic, certain things, but you shouldn't have everything like that, because then you just creating separation. And then so what's happening is, though, we have this separation happening, but it's 2 degrees of separation. In one way, blacks being separated from whites and Hispanics and Asians, and Hispanics being separated from blacks and whites and Asians, and it's different based on these events that you see happening online, based on these initiatives that you see happening. It's a lot of separation. But then the other separation, which is even deeper than just racial separation, is gender separation. So now when you separate the woman and elevate the woman, and then you separate the man, but the same resources, which here's the thing, is what we will say is there's always been an advantage for men. It's always been a man's world. It's always been opportunity for men. It's always been this and that for men. And that is right. That is true. That is true. But it's never been a label put on it that says, hey, men, come to this job. You will be hired faster, you will be promoted faster, and you will be paid more. So it hasn't been a label put on said, men, this is a event for men in tech only. This is an event for men in real estate only. So it has been out there, but it wasn't spoken and it wasn't a label put on it. Now, when you have to read, you may have felt less than. I may have felt less than. But if I go and I read a sign on a door of a major company that says, black men are not welcome because you are less than, that's going to hit totally different. So what's happening is, instead of just leveling the playing field, and instead of saying, hey, this is an event for people in tech, all are invited, and see who come, we take it and we compartmentalize it, saying this is for black women in tech. And then it's a Hispanic woman, it's a white woman, it's an Asian woman. They say, I would like some information as well. But, and then the white woman says, but if I do an event for white women in tech, I will be labeled as racist. And so here's the thing. We are creating so much separation and yet still expecting collaboration. So what's happening is men now are being put on defense. Now men are going into attack mode. Men are going into game mode, because now it's like, oh, you big and bad. You big and bad. And this has nothing to do. It's not your fault as a woman if you're the recipient of all of these events and conferences and teleseminars and activations that's for women only, that's helping you make money, learn how to make money and get to the money. And in a lot of ways, women now are really getting there. And the industry, and because the woman's dollar is more powerful than the man's dollar, the women who go into business are doing really good. They're doing way better than the men who are going into business. So, I remember seeing women who, because they sell makeup or they sell, hair stuff or body shaper stuff, they will release a product and become a millionaire in less than 12 months. But if a man releases a product, the male dollar isn't that strong. So when a man releases something, let's say a man releases wave grease, he lucky if he make 100K. But when the woman releases weave, her weave company, she making 3, 4, 500K with no real following, because the woman's dollar is stronger, because women move the needle when it comes to the economy. Women truly move the needle. So the companies see this and realize this, and they're saying, listen, let's empower them. Let's speak into their life because we need the money. But then what the company does not care about is it's causing a division and a separation. So instead of saying, here's a tech conference, here's an empowerment conference, here's a self-love conference, here's a coding conference, instead of just saying that, they're saying, here's a conference for women of this type only. Whether it's this race, that race, this city, that state, and it's creating separation. So now what's happening is, and the whole reason why I'm making this video, is because, and I'm trying to explain it so you understand where I'm coming from and what I'm seeing and what I'm sensing that maybe you may not have paid attention to. And I know some women get it and some, have been ostracized, alienated, hurt, and did wrong, that they're like, I deserve all this. I deserve all this conference specifically for me. And you keep your sorry, but because you the one that hurt me, and I didn't have advantages in life and everything was hard for me. So I deserve this over here to be for me and specifically for me. And I get that. Okay, I get that. I understand that. But one thing I've learned is that when I'm trying to help women in the relationship space with my message, I will see a strand of women come and say, Tony, you helping us, but the men need help too. Because it's a lot of messed up women out here, and the men ain't the only ones messing up. And I say, you know what, you're right. And I'm glad you see it that way. So what's happening right now is the men literally are feeling ostracized, feeling left out. And I'm going to have to start creating some movements. But I don't even want to do it. It's like I don't want to do an event that says this event is for black men in tech. Because I want the white man to be able to come too. I'm not against him. Come on in here. Like, yeah, black men may not have a voice or representation in this space, but I'm not gonna close the door, because although you white or although you Hispanic or although you Asian, you could have been raised up in the same hood that the black man was raised up in. And so if you comfortable coming on in, come on in. I ain't gonna put no label or no gender or a color on it, on the stuff that I do. But I'm almost feeling like I'm forced to do it now, because I'm like, man, everything I pop up is a fund for women, a event for women. And with my events, I don't say it's just for women, but most women come. It's 90% women, 10% men. My videos is my YouTube is 94% women, 6% men. And this is open on the World Wide Web. This for everybody. And the men who come, they come and a lot of them regurgitate my message as their own, because the men come and see a business opportunity. The women come and see growth. And then it's a small group of women who come and see a business opportunity and think, oh, is he making money from that? Well, let me do that to make some money. So you're going to have that in there. But what we seeing right now is this separation of the genders. And so what happened is, with the nature of man being competitive, with the nature of man being the way that it is, something that we may not be able to rewire, women who are being built and making more money, getting more access, getting more opportunity, now these women are becoming a target. Now these women are becoming a target, and men are coming in with ulterior motives. And so now the company that is elevating, promoting, supporting, and sponsoring this group of women may have their own motives for why they're doing what they're doing. Nobody does anything, just for free. Like, it's something in it, but you got to look at the motives. Is the motive pure, or is the motive greed? Okay. So I spend a lot of time here making these videos, but YouTube has put a compensation plan in place. So the thing then becomes, what is my motive? You see what I mean? So before they had compensation, I still was making videos, but I wasn't making as many videos because I wanted to go where my work would be rewarded for my heart. So my reward could match my heart. So what's happening is, the companies are promoting and elevating women, but some of the motives are greed. And that is creating at the same time separation and dissonance. I don't even know if that go right there, but it just sounded good. It's creating separation and dissonance in the men. And now the men are looking with anger and jealousy. Now see, I'm mad. Now I'm mad. I'm looking, oh man, it's just for the women. Now guess what? I'm married, so I can't go date and get with one of these millionaire women, one of these women who making 50, 60, 70,000 a year. Remember when I joked about the RN money? I said that jokingly, but realistically, this woman went to college, got this education, took the test, and then built up and say, hey, I'm going to be a CNA, then I'm going to be a LPN, then I'm going to be a RN, then I'm going to be a nurse practitioner, then I'm going to be a physician's assistant, then I'm going to be a medical doctor, or however it goes. Then I'm going to be a surgeon, or however it goes. But she said, look, because I have not met the right man, I can completely focus on my career, and I'm going to build. And so she's building, and then the man is sitting over there watching. Okay, keep building. Okay, yeah, keep building. And then what you see happen, the man come in, and he has ulterior motives. And he comes in and he says, I want what you got. So right now, it's a lot of women who are under attack because they've focused on themselves and loved themselves. And now the world is also rewarding that self-love and that focus, which is not her fault. It's not your fault that these major companies are doing commercials. Like, I'm seeing national commercials. I'm seeing national commercials for like car companies with all people of color. I'm like, wow, when has that ever happened? With all people of color. And I'm like, wow. The world trying to shift. It's shifting, but I don't understand the motives. Is it for the dollar? Because you see this group of people being mobilized and strengthened and gaining wealth. And so now you want to provide representation in your marketing to get their dollars. And you want to be the first one to it. But before this group was mobilized and gaining wealth, you didn't have any representation in your marketing for this group. And so are the motives pure? Or did it change because you see the tide is changing, and the tide changed without your permission? So you say, I might as well get on board because it's changing anyways. These women or African Americans or Hispanics or Asians or what have you, whatever group it is growing and building, and we need to get some of that money. So let's put their representation in the movie, in the marketing, in the commercial, in the ads. Let's do it because we need that money. So what's the motive? Guess what? Where those motives may be, it then creates other motives. For when you separate the genders, now the man says, okay, now I got to get it how I live. I got to get it how I live now. I got to get mine. So when you look back over society, what you've noticed is that a man always finds a way to beat the system. Always. When you look at it in any area, in the legal and the illegal, a man always finds a way to beat the system. A man always finds a way to make some money. A man always finds a way to climb the ladder. So now what's happening is men saying, okay, women are now the ladder. The women are the ladder now. Let me climb her. And I'm trying to think, and I try not to name names. But what I want you to do is use the media, for example. First, go to the media. Look at all the celebrity couples. Okay? And see how many couples that you can identify where the woman's name is bigger than the man's name. Or the woman earns more money than the man. Or the woman has more longevity because of her trajectory than the man. In a lot of these cases, you're going to see where the man career is doing like this and the woman's career is doing like this. You're going to see that, okay? And after looking at the media, and if you're not too into the media or, celebrity stuff on the blogs, then just start to look around you in your community, in your city, on your job. You will start to see women, and it could be yourself as included in this, but you'll start to see certain women who climb in the ladder and they will start to get attention from men that in the past would not have paid them any attention. But now because of her money, because of her success, because of her notoriety, because of her growth in the business world, now this man over here who really didn't even or wouldn't even like her look or her style or her type, he sees her trajectory. So his goal is to come in and to play on her loneliness, her desire to be married and to be a mother in wedlock or to be a blended family in happiness. And so he knows that she has become successful, whether it was by default, meaning that was her only focus, so there was a byproduct of her focus, or whether it was her dream and her goal to build business to that point. But for whatever reason, she built business to that point. A lot of men now are coming in and saying, I'm going to play on the other side of what she really wants, because I believe a woman wants love, marriage, and a family more than she wants financial success and fame and notoriety, or the money that comes with the hustle and the grind. She truly deep down wants to be loved unconditionally by a man who will go and get her the moon and who will help her raise a beautiful family. That's what she truly wants. And so this is what the man is saying. And so just like some of these companies and some of these initiatives, the man may be coming in with ulterior motives. And he's saying, you know what? I'm going to love her down. Oh yeah. I'm going to speak your love language. I'm going to give you everything you need till I get in there. Get my hands on that money. Yes, sir. Now think about it now. And some of the names I could bring up because they done already went south is like Wendy Williams, her husband. What he came in and did. Started to control stuff. Calling the shots. The manager. Who else? Mary J. Blige, her husband. Remember Tina Turner and Ike? They got a whole movie about that. Start to come to see this what a lot of men, weak men, grown boys, which is more of grown boys than it is grown men. So the whole purpose of this message was, ladies, listen. I'm happy that the field is starting to be leveled. I'm happy that we have women running for president. I wrote about it in my next book, A Woman's Influence. Now make sure, hey, have you pre-ordered this? Make sure you pre-order this. I'm reading the audio book right now. And I said in this book, I said, we have so many women running a household, meaning she's the CEO of home. She called the shot. She makes sure everything flows. And what is the world comprised of? A bunch of little homes. So how can we let a woman run the home, which makes up the world, and not let a woman run the country? How can we do that? Like, what sense do that make? If a man can't run his household, meaning be the CEO of home and make sure everything is flowing and going together, why are we going to give him a whole country? So me personally, respecting and understanding the way a woman's mind works, I'm like, hey, I want you to have a shot at running a country. So I can see what you could do with it. Because I seen how you can have a home flowing. And the home is what make up the world. I put that in here. Realness now. So this what I need you to understand. Is I'm happy that the field is now starting to be leveled. For whatever reason that the companies or corporations or these initiatives are springing up, I don't know their motives. But if it's benefiting you, hey, congratulations, clap it up. Here go a cookie if it's benefiting you, okay? But at the same time, what I want you to be aware of is don't forget where you come from. Don't forget who were trying to sniff your dirty draw before you had money and a good job. Who wanted you then, okay? Who wanted you then, and what's the adult version of him? Now, when you go get this here money and you get this here success, and this man come out the woodworks, and you look at this man and you say, your type ain't never wanted me. Your type ain't paid me no attention. Or you may say, your type always wanted me, but your type ain't never been known to be faithful. Your type ain't never known to cater to no woman. What's up with you? Now, you ain't got to say it out loud to him, but you got to watch him. You got to watch him. And this where I'm finna bring this thing on home at now, is you got to make sure you equally yoked. You hear me? What I've been telling the women, that's my client, who are single and successful. And successful is you could pay your bills without having to ask anybody else for a dime. And that's what I would define success on the monetary side of things. Now, just life in general is when you know God and you have secured your eternity and you operating from a place of peace, you successful. Even if you don't have the money yet to pay all your bills, you successful. But see, this is what I want you to understand. What I've been telling my female clients and my male clients, I got to say male, I have to say female, because now they get mad. But oh, do not say female. And I'm like, what? Now you can't say female? What you want me to say? It's you got a female, you got a male. You want me to say your highness? What in the world? Okay. So now I got to say my women clients. And that don't sound right. So when I'm coaching a client who is a woman, okay, what I've been telling her is make sure this man bringing a table to your table. Make sure he bringing a table to your table. Now, so what I mean by this is you got to evaluate him. First and foremost, make sure you equally yoked in your faith. So you building your life, you becoming successful. And if you know God and you love God and you a devout Christian or whatever it may be, whatever your faith may be, make sure this man is on the same page with his faith. This is why I say don't get married inside of a year, because you need time to watch. Anybody could play a role, but a person playing a role will eventually forget their act. Listen to what I'm telling you now. person playing a role will eventually forget their act. So that's why you got to take your time. You need at least 12 months before marriage. And what you're going to see is, where's his faith at? Let me hurry up because I ain't called past an hour yet. The Lord ain't called me to go an hour and 15 or an hour and 20, so I got 5 more minutes. And so you look at the faith and you make sure that y'all equally yoked. Now this is the next thing now. Look at your work ethic. If you are ambitious, he need to be ambitious. Okay? Now, if you lazy, you might want to deal with a lazy man. But if you ambitious, he need to be ambitious, because if a woman is ambitious and you get with a man that's lazy, he gonna ride your coattail. And I want you to picture you trying to walk. Try to picture you trying to climb, and a man, a grown man, holding your coattail. Picture that. That's exactly what it looked like in real life. You hear me? Eventually, you gonna fall off the mountain. You finna flip back because you gonna get fatigued and you gonna get weak, and his weight pulling on you because he not pulling his weight. He's not pulling his own weight. You pulling his weight. Guess what? You gonna shoot. Timber. And then guess what? He gonna see another woman climbing, and she's single just like you was when he met you. And he gonna, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, what's your name? Would love to meet you. And guess what? He finna just watch you fall on down. Right on down. Your career going right on down, because he done let you pull him and his weight and pull you down. Now he hopping right to the next. You hit me? So make sure if you ambitious, he's ambitious. Now understand this. If you educated, he need to be educated. But understand, education ain't just school. You see what I mean? My wife educated, but I'm educated too. We just educated differently. You see what I mean? So you got to make sure you equally yoked. Now this is the other thing. What you have to factor in, trajectory. So you might be at 50K. He might be at 30K. But what is his trajectory? If he 30K with character and with ambition, then his 30K can be 300K. If he 30K with poor character, getting drunk, smoking, cussing like a sailor, playing video games all the time, gambling, nasty movies. If he 30K with poor character, his 30K gonna stay there or go down. If he 30K with no ambition, he gonna stay there or go down. If you 50K with character and ambition, you going from 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 150. You get with a man who 30K with bad character or no ambition, when you go to 75, guess what? He coming up to 75, but now he done lost his 30. He coming home with a pink slip. Oh man, they done laid everybody off. He done went to Staples and bought a pink slip. Then wrote on it and got the carbon copy from up under it and then brought it home. Man, you know what? I'm finna just ball this up and throw this in the trash. That ain't gonna be my future. I can't stand these people. Man, these old sorry, no good people, man, they don't want to see nobody succeed. And man, I don't mean to be emotional. And then here you like, oh baby, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And while you hugging him, you looking back that, while you hugging him, he like this. Got him. That's how my wife say to me, got him. He excited because he done played you. He came in, showed you just enough. And he played on your desperation for a warm body. He played on your desperation for a donor, for a sperm donor. He played on your desperation for a ring. And he was making enough to get you a ring, but he didn't have character and he didn't have ambition. So now you up the creek without a paddle. Now listen, I can go a little longer, and this video went on educating y'all on something totally different about the separation of the genders and some of the agendas that's going on against the genders to separate us. And you got to pay attention to it and ask yourself, why are we not being put in the same room instead of being put in separate rooms? And if we being separated so much by the big dollars, then how are we going to come together in our own household as a team when we being separated in the boardroom and the conference room? Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. If you made it this far, put be blessed in the comments. God bless you.